Hey Joe, what do you think your mistakes have been in the past? Wow, this weather is so nice. Joe, didn't you say you wanted to reflect? Wow, life is so good right now. Joe, this was your idea. What the heck?
This is fine.
Let's reflect. So with the current situation with everyone having to stay at home, I've found that it's actually helped in a lot of ways for people to slow down and take a break and think things over. Because I absolutely love reflection, we are going to do a reflect with me video where I've got some questions lined up on my laptop that I've written. And I think it's just a great way to ask yourself some questions that you may not have in the past. So with each question that I've written up, I'm going to do them literally real time because I have not written up anything yet. And I'm excited. Let's begin. So the first one that I have written down is just to get our minds running. It's not actually a serious reflective question, but it is important nonetheless, and it is, what baked good are you? So I wrote that literally, what would you be if you were found at a bakery, like a croissant, like a donut, an eclair? And I would have to say that I feel like I would be... Actually, this is harder than I thought it'd be. I'm actually gonna look up baked goods. Okay, in Wikipedia there is a list of baked goods. Biscuit, bread, bun, flat bun. To be honest, I feel like I would be a muffin. Something that's like crunchy on the outside, just cause I don't know if I'd give off that aura. No, actually no. I don't think I'd be that. To be honest, I feel like I would be some sort of like one of those custard buns, something that's really like soft, because I guess I'm vulnerable and soft. But in the center, I am a very like wholesome, like custardy bun. Okay, I think I'm overthinking it. I don't know why I made this question thinking it would be easy. It's actually giving me a lot more trouble than it is. But then also, to be honest, I feel like I could be sourdough because I'm sort of like blunt sometimes when shit needs to go down. So maybe sourdough instead of a custard bun. Anyway. Let's begin the video. Okay, so I've actually organized these questions into past, present, and future. So what I mean is we're focusing on questions that are relating to our past first and then working towards what we would like to be. So the first one from our past is, what were you like in high school? I lie. The first one is, how have I changed since high school? And I'm going to be writing down my answers, and then I'll cut this bit out and then we'll discuss. Okay, so the first question which I've written up, how have I changed since high school? So I wrote, back then I didn't want to draw attention to myself and saw myself as average and nothing more. I didn't see myself as being capable of becoming a leader, and I think I just wanted to blend in more so than stand out, because I only thought that I was capable of a certain thing, and because, you know, like no one would tell me, oh my god, you're a leader. Like I wasn't a captain or anything, so I didn't feel like someone important at that time. Which is so crazy, like stupid, because captaincy does not mean that you're important, and it doesn't exclude anyone who isn't. I also wrote, I wanted to be liked by everyone and valued things like how many Facebook likes I got, which determined my self-worth. So back in the day, I would see how many Facebook likes I got on a photo or whatever, a status, and then that meant how popular you were, and then how popular you were determined what your self-worth was. Again, very toxic thinking, but I used to fall for that many times. And then I also wrote I didn't want to speak out unless if I was comfortable with who I was around, so I wouldn't be as vocal as I am today. If something really rubbed me the wrong way, I feel like I would be more able to speak out if I felt like I needed to. And I said I got jealous a lot and didn't realize that life is not a competition, because back in the day I would see what I lacked and what other people had that I wanted, and instead of thinking that life is like a collaboration where you get inspired by other people and bring yourself up that way, I got jealous, and then I thought, okay, well, if you have that, I'm not going to support you and be sort of petty. So now comparing who I was back then to who I am today, I said I feel more confident in myself and I'm able to speak out. Like what I said before, I'm able to speak out if I feel compelled to. And I'm also more sure of what I do and do not tolerate. So if something, were to really conflict with my values, I would not put myself in that situation much longer. And I still feel the need to please people, like I am a people pleaser, but it's not to the same extent as before, where I would, sacrifice a little bit of myself and what I stood for to fit in with the crowd. So that's a big change, I would say. So the next question is, what did I enjoy doing as a kid? And again, you can think about it while I write my answer down. So the reason why I bring up what did I enjoy as a kid as a question is because a lot of the activities that we enjoyed when we were kids are still what we enjoy nowadays, but we may not experience it to the same level or do these activities. So I just wrote dot points for these ones. One of them was performing CPCA, which was this theatre group company. I did that for 2 years and I really enjoyed it. I actually quit because I think I have the email somewhere, which I'll bring up, where I emailed the coordinators that year 7 would be too much a responsibility and I would be stepping down and quitting from this theatre group. I don't know why I did that. I sort of regretted it after, but here we are. So I've really liked performing, and that's always been something that I've enjoyed growing up, and that sort of explains why I do YouTube, because it's, combining skits with information that I've researched and everything that I like. I also like theme park rides, and I don't know if there's any special meaning to that. I think it's just fun. As kids, we appreciate things that are fun, and I feel like we sort of deprive ourselves once we get older of these sorts of activities, which is very interesting. So the others, there's movement, which doesn't surprise me because one of my highest values is exercise and fitness and health. The next one though, reading fiction, I know and acknowledge that I don't do it enough. And for some reason, I think that it's a waste of time, that I shouldn't be doing it, and I should be doing other things that are productive. I really feel like that sort of thinking is very limiting. It doesn't make any sense. So I feel like I want to read more fiction. And the last one is making up games and playing games. I feel like intrinsically we all like doing things that are fun and creative, but we sort of, for some reason or another, we just grow out of it. And yeah, that's what I've gotten for that. And the last question from the one centered around the past is, what advice would you give your younger self? So the 3 main ones that I came up with for this one is to stop comparing yourself to others. And we're all on our own life journey. Like, there is no point in comparing yourself to another person where they have different resources than you. They have different goals and aspirations. Why should you compare what you have or are, who you are, with them? And it's just so incongruent that there is no purpose or no, positive consequence of comparing yourself to others. So advice 1. Advice 2 is to seek help and really be proactive and take initiative to ask questions, because people are there to help you, especially in high school when I had no idea what I wanted to do. I could have taken the next step to ask someone and get some help, but I didn't. I was very lazy and I didn't really care. So I would really advise myself to do that because everyone there is willing to help you. And advice 3 is that not everyone will like you. So just deal with it. And I think that's advice that I would give myself right now as well, because I still struggle with that. But I struggled with it more so when I was younger, and I would really be like, everyone like me, please. And I would adapt myself to make different people like me. It was so, yeah, just no. So now onto the questions that are more talking about present day, with the first being, what activities am I doing that are achieving my values? And I do know that this requires for you to know your values. So I do have a video that I've made about values, as well as a blog post that I actually released today that gives you a step-by-step guide of how to find your own. So with the values that I've written down, they're health, connection, growth, and impact. And we'll start with health. Health, honestly, I have not been achieving this value that well. I am not sleeping that much, or at least not as much as I would like to. And also eating food that are not so good for me. So I do need to improve that a lot. Connection, I feel like I want to do more just because I want to feel more connected with my family, do more family activities, and just get to know my family more because we're not the closest. Again, something I really want to fix because it is one of my core values, yet I'm not being strict enough with myself, or at least I'm not taking responsibility for this, even though I know it will make me happy. Growth, I would say yes, and impact yes as well, just because I'm making myself learn more skills that I haven't in the past, or I've taken up singing lessons. And impact, this is an example, like using my YouTube channel to share things that I'm passionate about, having an active reflection with you all. So I think I'm doing okay in those sorts of aspects. And I guess a side note question to ask if you aren't actually achieving the values that you want to is, what would you change in your day-to-day activities that would make it easier for you to achieve your values? Another question that I think is very important for current day is, who brings you up and who brings you down? And I think this takes a longer reflection. It really forces you to think about who you surround yourself with and being honest with yourself and seeing whether they're actually doing you more harm than good. I won't tackle that in this video just because, yeah, that's... The next question is, what does success mean to you? Actually, I just realized while I was writing this that success is probably just achieving your values. Because if I were to achieve my values for health, connection, growth, and impact, I would feel pretty successful. So I think that's how I would answer that one. And this question I'm actually very proud of thinking of, and that is, what are your excuses? I have plenty, and I know that they are limiting, and that I've tried really over time to just, ignore them, or at least accept that they're there, but not believe in them or decide to go down that road. So these are my top excuses that I tell myself and that I'm actively trying to not believe. The first one is, I don't have time. And that is a complete lie, because I know I have time. It's just that it's a priorities thing. When I tell myself I don't have time, that literally means that I will prioritize something else over doing this thing. Something I've been trying to work on. Another one, I'm not good enough. And that just comes with comparison. It's thinking that, other people can do it better than I can. So why try? Again, so limiting. And another one is, I'm not like them, I'm not special. And if I were to think broadly, no one is particularly special or has special qualities to them that no one else can achieve. Everyone is capable of something and achieving more, and that again is an excuse that I say to myself because I'm either scared or I don't want to take full responsibility of my actions, or I don't want to put myself out there because I'm scared of what people think. All of those excuses, get over that, Joe. Get over it. Cool. So now on to the future. What 3 traits do you want to embody most? So the 3 traits that I want to practice most is integrity, generosity, and curiosity. Integrity, because I have this habit of saying I'll arrive at a certain time and then not sticking to my word and coming late. I really want to, improve on that because I don't want to be that person. Another one is generosity. I do find myself being stingy at times, whether financially or otherwise, and I really just want to become more generous with my time, my money, and everything, because I know in the long term that will make me a lot happier too. And curiosity, because curiosity unlocks so many different things. It stops you from judging too soon and just going with the flow and accepting life as it happens. Because if I practice more curiosity, then I feel like I can do more and have more opportunities. And then the next question is just, how can you practice more of these traits? I think with integrity, it's taking more personal responsibility with my words, doing what I say I will, and maybe putting in some consequences, like I give money to someone or something like that if I don't follow what I say I will do. With generosity, I've been more active in donating more of my things and also speaking less and letting other people talk more, and I guess being generous with my time. And another question is, what is one thing, if you could choose only one thing that you want to improve over this year, what would it be? And I think a good question to help with that is asking yourself, what are you most jealous about that other people have or do? Because to be honest, what you're jealous of what other people have or do is indicative of what you lack yourself. So I feel like this would definitely help answer this question. And then the question that follows on from that is, what steps should you take today or consistently over this year to reach that final goal? The one skill that I want to improve on this year is to be better at singing, and the steps that I've taken is to start singing lessons, and I've done that for I think 2 months now, and I've been sort of slack, and I'm trying to get myself back, so I consistently doing the exercises every single day and being dedicated to it, because literally that's the only way I can improve. So yeah, that's my answer, and I hope that you found something that you want to improve on within a year. So I really hope that this video has helped you reflect in some way. I've got some extra questions that I will put into the description box. And yeah, I really hope this helped, and I will see you next time. Bye!